Fred Film Radio, I'm Laura Della Corte from the 81st Venice Film Festival. I'm glad to be joined with director Deepak Rauniyar of the movie Pooja Sir in the section Orizzonti. How are you feeling today?
Sinking in. This is today's my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we're screening in the birthday, and we wrapped the film last year the same day, on 29th. So it's beautiful.
It's a cycle.
Yeah, and sometimes we can't be everyone here because a couple of our main actors didn't get visas, so we lost. So it's like a mixed feeling that we can't be all together.
All together.
Yeah.
Okay. So my first question, your film is deeply rooted in your personal life, right? So particularly in your experience with discrimination as a Madhesi individual in Nepal. And so how did your relationship also with Asha Magrati, not only through the narrative, but also for the emotional core that you give to the movie as brought you together to screen that movie?
So yeah, this film is a product of love. Also, kind of like a follow-up of White Sun that I was here in 2016 that covered civil war, the country in the wake of civil war then. And so this is in that White Sun we mentioned about this protest happening in the radio news, and this film where we decided to set in the same location where the real protests were happening. And so after the Civil War, in 2007, 2015, hundreds of thousands of population came on the street protesting for dignity, asking for federalism, be treated similarly. And several people died because of the protest. The country was almost shut down for 8 months and more. And Asa and I come from two different communities. She is from Pahadi, light skin. I come from a Madhesi, dark skin population. But we get together. We started a film company together. We made a film set. And so we felt like this responsibility that we have to make something about of this. If we didn't make the film, we didn't explore this story, no one else is going to do it.
Yeah.
So we felt that necessity of it. And
telling
the story.
Yeah.
Also creating this bridge between these two communities, because most of this discrimination comes from misunderstanding, unknowing. I think a regular Pahadi person growing up in just light skin community would think like anyone like me is an Indian immigrant or taking their rights. That's what politicians been telling them, or that's how they grew up with, and they don't know the real story. So we thought if we did a film and they come to watch it, they would have a different experience. They would have an empathy. There will be a connection. And I think it's not only Nepali story in some ways. Everywhere happening. We live in the US. And US is no different. And we have just president nominee who is South Asian origin or from the black origin. And we're already questioning about her Americanness. And so we thought, this is an important time for us to bring in our personal film, which we always do, but also something that is very universal.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And also, continuing on what you're saying, I found really deep to choose your reflection also on the treatment of women in Nepal, because it's difficult to see them in Europe or in filmography in general. So you shed some light on some harsh realities. So can you just discuss a little bit your upbringing and the encounters that you did with gender inequality there, and also maybe with also Asha contributions to that?
So a lot of this film, a lot of in film is inspired by either me or Asa's life. Okay. So I think a lot of Pooja's character is Asa's life in some way. So we just condense some of the things. She grew up in a family where her brother would go to English school in a bus in a uniform. She would walk an hour to get a government school. And her brother would be she is very fond of she grew up inside a British camp because her father was ex-British Army, and she grew up there because I don't know but Britain still have Gorkha regiment is a regiment of Nepali Army. Okay. Which serves in UK and also in Brunei, and it started during the time where British were ruling India.
Yeah.
And still India has a regiment, Singapore has a regiment. So I think it's a very unique army. And so as I grew up there and very fond of watching films, but she wouldn't be allowed as a kid, but her brothers would be allowed. So those are like little moments, or like what happened on her family. Like her brother died early when he was only 24 years old. She became that son, wanted to become that son of the family and help grow two nieces, and wanted to be son in the family, wanted to behave like that. But she was never treated as a son. She was never being accepted as a son inside. And outside world is the same, like theater and film industry is not different. We grew up on those way.
Yeah,
and
right.
This film is based on the research we did for almost 8 years. So as we, based on the basic idea, we started to interview people. So a lot of police officers' character that Asa is playing is coming from the reflection of the interviews that we did long years, followed the officers long years. So we wanted to be as authentic it can be, because of course it's not a documentary, there's a lot of fictionalized element in the film, but most of them is coming from somewhere real.
That's true. Okay. Thank you so much. I think, yeah, like Pooja is an amazing character, but I would like to talk with you more, but we have like to say already goodbye. So we have been talking with Deepak Rauniyar, director of Pooja, sir, in the section Orizzonti. This is Laura Della Corte, Fred, the Festival Insider. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.